Well, this month, several asteroids that were at least 300 feet wide came within 5 million miles of Earth. And should a large asteroid ever collide with us, scientists say it could cause a mass extinction.
NASA is devising plans for how to divert an oncoming asteroid. But for now, the only lines of defense are the people who patiently watch the skies. And two of them are from Berks County. WFMZ photojournalist Andrew Valentino brings us their story.
I love asteroids. I went to Conrad Weiser High School. I studied asteroids in college a little bit, so I actually had not done any radio astronomy when I applied here. In Greenbank, West Virginia, we are surrounded by 2 radio quiet zones. We do asteroids and planetary stuff.
Where did you go to high school?
Fleetwood. In high school, I did Science Olympiad, did the astronomy event. In college, majored in physics and astronomy. Got to come down here to Arecibo for a couple weeks. Worked on observations of Venus and asteroids with Arecibo radar data. Thought that was really cool, so stuck with it.
I got into astronomy when I was in junior high. A friend of mine had a small telescope, and we looked at some stars and the moon. So in 2012, Emily, myself, and my dad, we built this observatory out here. And WOJ is an outreach organization for astronomical public outreach. Generally on meeting nights, if the weather permits, we'll observe through our telescope. I know the total number of asteroids is on the order of 600,000 or 700,000.
We know of over 20,000 that come close enough to Earth that they're classified as near-Earth asteroids.
A large asteroid is what we suppose killed the dinosaurs.
That would be like continental or a global catastrophe if it ever hit us, so those are the ones we really keep an eye on.
I think the biggest problem is that some people don't take this as seriously. They might think that, oh, it'll be fine, we'll see it.
Detection is really what it's all about, early detection.
Asteroids in general are discovered by optical surveys, so people stare at a patch of sky, then come back a few hours later, look for something that moved.
Most of these asteroids are actually discovered optically first, and most of the time by amateurs.
Usually you just don't do one night, you do it a couple nights worth to make sure that the object is indeed what you think it is.
And then they tell like NASA or the Minor Planet catalog people where they found it, and then somebody confirms that it's there. And then is usually when we'll look at it in radio.
Greenbank is the largest fully steerable radio telescope in the world. They don't have their own transmitter, but they're a large, powerful telescope. They work well teaming up with us.
A telescope with a transmitter transmits, the signal bounces off the object, and we receive the echo.
First step is just getting like the Doppler or distance measurements, and we report those to the Jet Propulsion Lab. They tabulate all the asteroid orbits.
Once we get all of the science, we take everything into account, then we know what is actually going to happen.
Natural disasters can do terrible damage. Unfortunately, for most of them, you can't really predict them far in advance. Asteroids are different. If an asteroid is going to hit like a century from now, we can potentially figure that out.
Most people will probably see them. I think it's Armageddon. It's not that dramatic. I doubt we would send somebody up in a ship. There's plenty of ways that we could deflect them or, alter their course a little bit if we had to.
Whenever one makes a close approach, often there are scary headlines about it, but like this object coming near the distance to the moon is not at all the same as it's going to hit us. Space is big and the Earth is a relatively small target.
The Earth seems so huge to us, but it's good to know
That is true.
The Earth is really a very small target.
Small target, yes.
Yeah. And by the way, NASA says it's planning a test mission to redirect an asteroid right out of the movies,
yeah,
right? In the fall of 2022.
Wow. All right, we'll see.
Yeah.